Is there any way any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Shakur Stevenson was recently spotted at Gervonta Davis's training camp, sharing the gym with Coach Calvin Ford and several of Tank's sparring partners. His visit comes shortly after reports claimed he'd done light sparring with Jake Paul in Puerto Rico. When questioned, Shakur downplayed the rumors, saying he's simply helping the best man win, without revealing whose side he truly supports.
You blame a man for taking that opportunity because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault him for that?
It's two sides of that.
Okay.
It just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But
sources close to the camp say Shakur Stevenson's visit was more than just a friendly drop-in. He closely observed Gervonta Davis's drills and even discussed strategy with Coach Calvin Ford between sessions, offering insights as Tank practices counters and setups. Shakur reportedly advised Davis not to chase an early knockout, but to lure Jake Paul into exchanges where he tends to overcommit, a flaw Shakur believes Jake still is under pressure. Despite Shakur's recent training with Jake, Ford seemed unfazed, casually sharing technical notes as Tank worked the pads.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying?
Always a strategist, Shakur Stevenson told Calvin Ford that Jake Paul depends too heavily on predictable straight rights and advised Tank Davis to attack the body early, setting traps for Jake's looping overhand. Despite never being part Team Davis before, Shakur blended in seamlessly during training. What's really drawing attention, though, is the timing. His recent sparring with Jake followed by an appearance in Tank's camp add an intriguing twist. Interestingly, Jake's team hasn't denied the sparring session, describing it only as mutual respect work between two elite competitors.
In terms of sparring, we got some great guys coming in, some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're gonna hit up Erickson, Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just gonna bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast, quick, shifty southpaws.
Still, Shakur Stevenson maintains that Gervonta Tank Davis should have given Lamont Roach a rematch. Speaking on the Ring Champs with AK and Barack, Shakur questioned some of Tank's recent career choices, especially his decision not to revisit the controversial draw with Roach. It just depends, Stevenson said. As a fighter, if I had a draw with someone, I'd probably run it back. But from a business standpoint, it's risky. If you lose to Lamont and then the Jake Paul fight comes around, you might not earn the same money, or the fight might lose its appeal entirely.
Paul brings something to media and to boxing. You cannot miss a fight. I like it, baby. I like the drama it's bringing, I'll be honest.
But nobody really cares about this fight.
Yeah, are you going to watch it?
Yeah, of course. That's how it's going to go. Nobody really cares, but everybody's going to watch it.
Nobody cares.
Shakur Stevenson broke down the situation in simple terms: the clash between a fighter's pride and a businessman's logic. From a business angle, I get it, he said. I'm not hating on the choice, but as a man, pride can get in the way. Stevenson didn't stop there. He suggested that Tank Davis has been privately struggling with doubts about facing Lamont Roach again. That uncertainty, combined with growing talk in boxing circles about Tank's possible retirement, could explain why the Jake Paul fight is happening now. Stevenson called it a money move, not a legacy move, a final run before Davis steps away from boxing.
Tank is big, Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
For Shakur Stevenson, who's built a reputation for dissecting fighters inside and outside the ring, the Jake Paul matchup seems less like a real challenge and more like a calculated payday. His willingness to say it publicly has sparked major debate, especially since he's recently been spotted training alongside Gervonta Davis. whether he's genuinely helping Tank prepare or simply observing. The timing of his comments hasn't gone unnoticed. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is embracing the chaos, using every bit of attention to fuel the buildup. When Terrence Crawford called the fight crazy and hard to believe, Paul didn't shy away. He doubled down, playing directly into the hype.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank.
This fight is insane, Jake Paul said. It's two of America's biggest boxing names, and it's a true 50-50 matchup. My skill and experience against Tank's power, but my size is the equalizer. Terrence Crawford's doubts quickly went viral, questioning why Davis would take such a dangerous fight at this point in his career. But Paul remained unfazed, insisting that the uncertainty is what makes it great. That's what makes this amazing. We don't know what's going to happen, he said, framing the bout as a genuine test rather than just another spectacle.
I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight?
I don't want to lose to somebody that. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight, actually.
You think
I'm
it's
not
a good
hating
fight?
on the fight, but I think my thoughts on it is let's watch it, see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said that boxing is turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. What do you?
When asked if he'd ever faced Terrence Crawford, Jake Paul didn't hesitate. "I'd fight Terrence for sure, let's run it," he said confidently. The response reflects a steady shift from influence of boxing to chasing real contenders. Paul even mentioned Canelo Alvarez as a future goal, but made it clear. Right now, my focus is November 14th and getting through Tank first.
Looking good in this. I don't know how it is. It looks to me David and Goliath, but David got skill and Goliath doesn't. But I don't know how it's going to work out. But if for some reason it winds up being a really fun event and it has tons and tons of viewers, millions and millions and millions of viewers, when Gervonta Davis goes back to
the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight, set for November 14th, has sparked reactions across the boxing community, including from former heavyweight champion Shannon Briggs, one of Paul's earliest mentors. Speaking with KO Artist Sports, Briggs reflected on how surreal it feels to see Jake now sharing the ring with Davis. "It's great for boxing," Briggs said. "I trained with Jake Paul early on. I helped get those boys started, and even back then, I knew something big was coming."
82-pound weight difference, almost 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What don't you understand about this? If you want respect from your peers,
Shannon Briggs didn't hide his respect for how far Jake Paul has come. They built their own fan base, and look what's happening, he said. Jake's chasing the big opportunities. Get a massive payday, then decide if you want to keep boxing or walk away. It's tough to make money in this game. Too many fighters, not enough paydays. And he's getting the big one. Briggs's words echo what many in boxing whisper behind the scenes. Love him or hate him, Jake Paul has mastered the part of the sport most fighters struggle with, the business side.
And everybody's going to watch it. So with all the eyes on it, there's only one result that is going to be of satisfactory. Only one result. And that is if Tank knocks out Jake. That's the only result.
Jake Paul has built real leverage. He sells fights and makes opponents carefully weigh what they stand to gain or lose. Even veteran trainer Robert Garcia echoed that sentiment while sharing his view on the matchup. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, Garcia noted that while exhibition-style fights aren't new, Gervonta Davis hasn't yet earned that privilege. Everybody's done it, he said. Mayweather did it, Ali did it. But the difference is, they all did it after achieving so much. In my opinion, Tank hasn't given fans of fights we truly wanted yet. Garcia's comments captured a growing frustration among boxing purists.
Paul Gervonta Davis. I know on Instagram you called it a circus.
Yeah, boxing is slowly turning into the WWE. That's what I think.
Does Tank Davis have a chance?
Yes, but
yeah?
I don't even want to talk about it. Don't ask me questions like that again.
Robert Garcia took his critique even further. citing Gervonta Davis's failure to rematch Lamont Roach as clear evidence. He never really challenged himself, Garcia said. He should have given Roach that rematch. When Mayweather struggled with Maidana or Castillo, he ran it back immediately to prove people wrong. Garcia's remarks echoed Shakur Stevenson's earlier criticism, revealing a rare agreement between a current star and a veteran coach. Both believe Davis's focus has shifted, from pursuing legacy-defining fights to chasing lucrative, headline-grabbing matchups. Behind the scenes, that perception has stirred growing tension among fighters in the same division. Several boxers, including Stevenson, view the Jake Paul bout as a shortcut to easy money that bypasses real contenders.